be a good day.
Perfect.
Make a motion to approve the request from Jordan Putnam to add the meat produce to the vendor market at 620 Churchill Road as previously approved by special permit at the craft-only market on September 12,
Second.
20.
We have a motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I heard Steve.
I heard him.
Welcome. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And do they already have this at City Hall?
Not yet, I gotta work on that.
All right.
Thank you.
And you do need to make sure your vendors all have a tax ID,
Yes.
because if they don't, they will be there
It
sooner or
is-
later, I promise you.
It is in the application form that they have to have all of their appropriate tax IDs and insurance, especially food. They all have to have their own food permits and insurance information.
Very good.
That's right.
Thank you. We're going to go back to number 8, discussion and or action on presentation for paperless software solution as presented by Xerox.
That's kind of funny, a copy machine company wants to go paper.
Right, yeah, how does that work, right? Well, we're always growing with the times, right? Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us. My name is Drew Grace, and I am the account manager for the city with your technology. And this is Rob McDonald, and he is our software specialist. So we're excited to be here. What we've put together for you is a presentation, and I promise to be brief, and we'll open it up for questions and dialogue. So going to the next slide, if you don't mind. Just as an agenda, what we'll do is just give you a real brief overview of our partnership together with the City of River Oaks. Then we'll talk about your current situation. There are some challenges as it relates to document management, and we'll review what those are. And then we'll talk about what the new solution would look like and what the benefits would be for the city. Of course, we'll discuss the financial considerations and then open this up to questions and answers. All right. So, first of all, just a little bit about us. We are Xerox Business Solutions Southwest. We are a part of Xerox. So we're right here locally, and we have multiple locations, and I serve on what's called the state and local government team. So our team works pretty much exclusively with municipalities like yourself, and of course school districts. And I've personally worked for Xerox for about 14 years, and it's a great organization. All right, we can go to the next one. And as far as our technology is concerned, John, I appreciate that comment because, you know, it's true. I mean, you know, when you think about Xerox, it's almost like Kleenex, you know, with tissues, right? Give me a Kleenex, well, if you make a copy, you make a Xerox. And we started the copier industry. Anybody want to take a guess what decade copiers were started?
50s.
Good guess. Even before that.
Oh, wow.
30s, yeah, 1938, Chester Carlton, I believe, is the one that invented the copier machine back in 38. So we've been doing it a while, but we also have a lot of other solutions which you can see there, ranging from poster printers to robotic process automation. We even offer curriculum for schools, and then paperless solutions, which we'll talk about tonight. All right. So a little bit about our history. We've been working with the city now for several years, and we began that relationship. We did an analysis for the city. We looked at some of your goals and challenges, and we put together a roadmap that was creating a document-efficient solution. So what we wanted to try to do is help streamline things for you and reduce costs, which we've been able to do. We put together a print management program, which you now utilize, which has gotten you away from all those expensive ink cartridges, and we manage everything for you there. And we've been doing ongoing innovation reviews with Marvin and Paula. We typically do those every 6 months. All right, so let's talk about document management. So part of the innovation review that we did, our business review, is we wanted to look at other areas that we can bring value to the city. And that discussion came up of going paperless. And we find this a lot with the cities and schools that we work with is, you know, what do you do with all this paper, right? I mean, it's there, but what do you do with it? How you can become better organized? So here are the 4 main challenges that we saw. And I'll start on the top, and then I'll let Rob kind of take over on the 2 bottoms. So first of all, just physical storage space. You know, let's face it, you keep records, and they take up space, right? And there's only so much square footage here in the city, and these filing cabinets, filing drawers are getting full, and that is only going to increase over time. And then retrieving documents. You know, trying to find a document sometimes can be finding a needle in a haystack, right? Especially if it's years old. So with a paper-filled, you know, filing system, that can be challenging, and especially in a city setting when you have, you know, public records and you need to be able to retrieve those pretty quickly. So those are 2 of the challenges that we're seeing.
Sure, and to kind of add to what Drew was saying, you know, finding information, data security. If I can't find something, just thinking about like in our office, it's in a filing cabinet somewhere, I'm not sure where it is. Hey, Drew, do you know where whatever is? What about information that's supposed to be secure? People's personal information, things like that that are in these boxes or in these filing cabinets. Data security is a big thing. Lack of disaster recovery to kind of add to that. If something happens, you know, again, anything happens, it could be a tornado, a flood, a fire, God forbid. What do we do with all those old documents? We're keeping them for a reason because they're important, but there is no data security, there's no disaster recovery plans in place.
So those are the 4 main areas that we saw. And so what can we do about that? So perfect, Paula, we'll do the solution overview right there. Okay. So Rob's going to walk you through, as I mentioned before, Rob works on our software team, so he'll kind of walk you through what our software solution will look like, and then he'll go over the financial considerations and the benefits. So
sure. So with that, kind of had Mr. Clark, like you were talking about, you know, a copier company wanting to talk paperless. It's kind of the way of the future, you know. Capabilities is what we call it. The first meeting I had with Mark and Paul, that's when we talked about a capabilities meeting. So this slide right here just kind of talks at a very high level of some of the capabilities of the solution that we're talking about. And we'll kind of hit on this and a little bit more expandability, if you will, but capture. The ability to capture, you know, information. Right now, again, we're talking for this part of the project, the paper, scanning the paper in, digitizing it, being able to capture it. But as you move forward, if you decide to expand the solution, it can come from emails, we can capture digital forms for other things that you may have going. Anything that's digital, we can capture the information from there. Then we want to, the next slide, digitize and classify. What information on these documents do you need to pull off? For the project we're looking at now, I believe Margaret had mentioned, hey, maybe we need to classify it by year, or maybe by the project we just heard about just now. If it was 4 years from now and you guys wanted to go and find some information on that, it'd be a lot harder. With this solution, it's kind of like a Google, if you will. You can Google in, I need the meeting that we had on October 21st.
24th.
24th, yeah. You could pull in October 24th, 2023. You can pull up all the information from there. You could pull up the market that we were just talking about. However, you know, I store information differently than how Drew stored it. So, you know, taking it back even to the city, maybe I remembered the location that we were at, so somebody's address. Maybe Drew remembered somebody's name. It's all about being able to find it easily, and once we digitize it, we can classify it and extract the data. The verification part, that's you know, the human in the loop, if you want to call it. Software has gotten very smart nowadays, but sometimes you still have to just verify it. It usually gives you a score when we scan a whole bunch of information in there. It's 80% sure that this is accurate, but it learns over time. That's a little bit of the AI. So after we've looked at it and we've verified it once or twice, it starts to understand, maybe like on an invoice that gets scanned through. Here's where it says invoice number, and it's gotten it's learned. This is where the invoice number is, or this is the format that the invoice number is. So over time, it starts to give you less of that verification because it'll learn as it goes. And then the store and deliver. It's just a big repository, a digital repository. So it can be stored in disaster recovery, things like that, but also, again, if you decide to expand later, accounts payable or other departments,